Hey guys, it's Melissa, and today we are going to be digging into the new makeup releases from the past 2 weeks and if they're going on my wish list or not. This series is inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series, and I will link that information down below as well as the community playlist. And then I'll also link all the Instagram accounts that I follow down below as well if you want to check those out too. On my eyes is the Emerald Moon palette from Lunar Skies Cosmetics. The video with this look, 2 other looks, and a review of all 4 of the palettes is going to be coming this week. So be sure that you are stay tuned for that. And I think that video is also going to have the spring giveaway winner in it. So there are just a few days left to get entered into that if you want to. I will put the links down below where you can check that out, and a link in the iCards to that video. I did mention, I don't know what video it was in. I've been doing a lot of filming, but I think right after this one is done, I'm going to do a quarantine giveaway, something like that, because I've been going through my stash of things and I definitely have things that I do not need. So I am going to do a giveaway with some of those products for you guys and just spread some love and joy because we all need it right now. I do not want to talk a lot about all of the COVID-19 stuff. I do want this to be a place where you don't have to hear about it because I think we hear about it from everywhere, but I do know it is impacting every single one of our lives. So just know that we are all here for each other. If you need some positive words, let us know in the comments and we can lift you up. In terms of talking about the new releases, we all know that we're all in different situations. All of us are in different financial situations right now. The companies that we're going to be talking about are in different financial situations right now. We all just need to be supporting each other. This is just a fun makeup video. So I am just going to continue as is when I'm talking about the new makeup releases. I'm going to share with you if they are on my wish list. I'm really bad about talking about topics like this because in my opinion, we should all get along and be loving toward each other despite any kinds of differences that we have. So let's just hop into these because that was probably an awkward intro. I probably am just going to be doing these every other week because there aren't as many releases now, but don't get me wrong, there are still plenty of things to talk about. And I think something we do need to think about is these smaller indie brands especially have spent a lot of time on this, and this is their work and this is their business and their livelihood. Just like the restaurants that we're supporting right now and other small businesses, they are small businesses. A lot of them a one-woman business doing this on her own. So I don't think it's bad for you to purchase an eyeshadow palette, and I don't think you need to feel guilty about it. So I did make some purchases this month already. I got the Luxe in Bloom collection, I got the Menagerie Cosmetics Pastel Pup collection, and I got Pastel Pup palette, and I got my Lunar Skies palettes as well. So those are all small indie brands who are working to support themselves as well. So we're not gonna come for each other if we want to buy a palette. Like, that's okay. See, there's just so many things I could get into, and I don't want my channel to be about that. So let's talk about this instead because this is what we're about here. This is the XNO Cosmetics Carissa Collab Carnival palette. So gosh, Carnival is a popular collab. Who else had I feel like someone else had a Carnival collab palette, or maybe just Carnival in general is a popular theme. So this one is on pre-order. This is not something that I would put on my wish list. It reminds me a lot of my Juvia's Place palettes. What does it remind me specifically of? I might have even put it away. Well, kind of like the Festival palette. You know, it reminds me of a mix. I put my, what's the one I'm thinking of? Zulu palette away right now, but it really reminds me of a mix of like these and the Zulu palette. So I definitely don't need these in my collection. I've never tried XNO Cosmetics, so I'm not familiar with the formula. And another thing I'm not super keen on this one about is that there's not really a colorful shimmer shade in there. So I love my colorful mattes. I definitely love a palette that has more mattes than colors in it, but I'm being very specific with my palettes right now. It looks kind of like a rainbow palette with some neutral shimmers, so that would not be on my wish list. Okay, this one, oh my gosh. I wish I wanted this palette so bad. This is from Solo Look. This is the new Charmed palette. You guys, they are coming out with some palettes that are like Right? Did they just have another one? So Solo Look comes out with those very nostalgic palettes and they always pull me in. I've never picked one up and I don't know that I would because the color schemes are never just right for me. Charmed was one of my favorite TV shows growing up. I watched the revamped Charmed that's on right now. I love that show. This is the Forever Charm palette. The swatches look really pretty, but it's very, the shimmers and mattes don't make a lot of sense to me. When I look at what is there and think about a look that I would create with thinking about the mattes and the shimmers and where I would place them, I'm not super inspired by it. So I would not pick this up, but I think it is such a beautiful palette. Let me know if you guys have watched the new Charm that's on. I originally thought it was going to be a remake, but it's actually three new sisters. Here's the thing with this week. There are a ton of things that if money were no object, I would buy a ton. I would buy a lot of them. Charmed would be one that I would gladly drop a dime for just to have in my collection. I could actually have a whole drawer of nostalgic palettes because I am a very sentimental person apparently, but I don't need them. The next one is from Luxe Beauty. These are the chrome quads and they are available now. And there are two mattes, a marble and a trichrome. These are beautiful. So even the yellow one, which looks neutral, I mean, they are all. I want all of them. But I have tried Luxe Beauty before. I've got For the Love of Fall palette. I really enjoyed this palette. But this year, I'm really trying to make my purchases from brands that I haven't tried before so I can compare and talk about different brands. And when you think about a single shadow, $20 is probably not that much comparing to other single shadows, and you get the little quad. But if you were to get all four of them, that would be $80. So that might be at the top of my wish list for this week, but it's not on my purchasing list for the week. So I saw on Instagram a picture of these lip pop satin lipsticks from Lime Crime. They're $20. And they reminded me when I look at them, because you pop them up like the Kajal lip heart melters. And I got one of those I got one of those heart melters, and I have to say, not a huge fan of it. I feel like you have to use a ton to get pigment, and it doesn't last very long on the lips. So I am going to be returning that. When I initially used it in my Shop My Stash video that went up last week, I enjoyed it at the moment. But then as I kind of went on to use it, I'm like, this is not very good. And for, I think, $17, it's going to be gone pretty fast because I have to put so much on. So when I first saw these, I thought about that and thought, yeah, no. And then I saw this. I am such a sucker for fruit scented lip products. Probably not picking it up, but I would love a lemon lime scented lip balm satin lipstick thing. I would love that for the summer. I would love it. Not on the wish list though. Next, we've actually got two things from Peachy Queen blog. They are another one that does nostalgic kinds of things. They had the Friends palette out. I don't know, was that last summer or the fall? Now they have got a There's No Place Like Home palette. Tugging on the heartstrings of Wizard of Oz lovers everywhere. I'm not going to pick it up, but I sure do love the look of this palette. I love that the mirror is like the glass looking ball thing. The setup and aesthetic of this really reminds me of the Magic palette, and I never reach for the Magic palette. I do not. The color story is just not one that I reach for, and this one reminds me of that. I think this one has a few more pops of color to it. It needs a little deeper of a matte somewhere in there. I do like that it has some colorful shimmers and several different colorful mattes. It's just, I just don't look at it and get really excited. So that one's not going on the wish list. But then they also just showed this one. This is the Amethyst palette. So it looks like it's got a couple of pressed glitters in there. They showed the front of the cover on their Instagram feed, but then they showed the inside of it on their stories. It's okay. It's okay. It's pretty. I think it's got some good color selections in there. I like that there's a little bit of a rusty red tone and you've got a blue purple shade in there, but it looks like you've got a couple glitter shades in there. For me, this is a really good Amethyst palette, and if I need to pull those neutrals in, I'll pull them in from something else neutral that I have. This one's not on the wish list, but I do think they've got some good, are those glitters or shimmers? Maybe those are shimmer shades that are really shimmery. This one's not going to be for me. From what I can see, I like the ratio of mattes to shimmer, the range of light to deep in both the matte and shimmer, and if those like super bold metallic shimmery glitter things are not glittery, they're probably going to be very beautiful. I'm really excited to see the swatches for this palette to see how those swatch out, but this is not one that I will be picking up either. And then Makeup Maniac Cosmetics is releasing a few right now as well. So they just had their pastel palette that they released, and now they're releasing, what is this one called? Weekend Soiree. Soiree. There we go. Soiree. Say that 3 times fast. So this is also not a palette that I'm that interested in. There's like 1 to 2 maybe lighter shades in there. I feel like maybe if this were arranged differently, I might think differently about it. Like if we put those pinky mauvies together, we've got 4 in that section, and then you've got the 2 purples, the 2 greens, 3 purples. It's kind of hard to tell without swatches, actually. It looks like some of them might be shifty, and then is that a yellow glitter? That's a strange option to have all of these other colors and then pop a yellow glitter in there. If I were going to put a glitter in this palette, which I wouldn't in the first place, I would probably put like a pinkish purpley glitter so that it goes with those other shades that you have in there. I just think a yellow glitter with those shades is going to be not super inspiring to me. So after all of that, this is not on my wish list. I still do want to try something from Makeup Maniac Cosmetics. I just haven't seen anything really great that I've been excited about. Next, I want to talk about the Sun Safety Kit from Sephora. So this is a sun kit that comes out every year. This is #1 on my wish list for April. And as long as it doesn't get sold out, it goes live on the 7th. I will be up and ready to put it in my cart on the 7th because this thing sells out like the day that it's launched at Sephora. But it is such a good deal. So it is a $178 value for $39. I have calculated mine before per ounce, and I actually think that it's not usually valued at what they say it is, but it is definitely over the value of what you would pay for it. So most everything in there is a sunscreen, and you get 5.75 ounces. So a typical Coola sunscreen is 1 to 1.7 ounce, and it's around $35. So to get that many more ounces, now some of them might not be face sunscreens, but looking at it, almost everything in there is. So for $39, for that much sunscreen, that's a good deal. And then this will typically last me for the next year. I put sunscreen every day on my face after I put my moisturizer on. So the thing I was wondering about, because the full size one in there is the Dr. Dennis Gross Dark Spot Sun Defense Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF. Well, a mini size of it came in the one from last year, and I have not used it yet. So I started using this today so I could see if I really do like it. So far, it's going really good. It's a SPF 50, which is so important. My primer laid down very nicely on it, as well as my foundation. So far, it's looking good. Now I just have to make sure I get up on time to get it in my cart. Tom Ford has released some face and eye palettes. Okay, so eye quad is like $90 from Tom Ford. So now we've got, I mean, these are probably what, like, I'm sure these are over $100, which is totally insane to me for 4 eyeshadows and a bronzer and a highlighter. The other thing about this is I was looking through the swatches, and it looks like every eyeshadow shade in them are shimmer shades. So you could use the bronzer shade for like a transition shade to have a matte in there, but I thought that was a little strange. I don't know anything about the formula of Tom Ford. I definitely would not spend over $100 on one of these palettes, not going on my wish list. If I were going to pick one up, it would really probably be like one that has a pop of coral in it. Because I feel like the other ones, when you get all shimmer shades of those kind of colors, they end up looking a little muddied together, but I definitely don't need any of those. Give Me Glow Cosmetics and Clarity Cosmetics have launched a mini collab. It is going to be limited edition. I don't know what the price is of this. I have never tried either. I follow Give Me Glow Cosmetics regularly because they are on my brands I want to try and have been for 2 years. I just haven't found the right thing. Clarity Cosmetics, the only thing that I even remember talking about is, what was this palette called? It was a blue palette, the Blue Royal palette, which I did not end up picking up. But this palette, it's so interesting. So I guess they are really good friends or best friends. So it is Clarity Cosmetics shadows that Give Me Glow, and I don't remember what their first names are, that Give Me Glow has chosen. Her favorite shadows from Clarity Cosmetics is what I understand it as. This palette is not for me. It is kind of a mini version of the new Melts one, which we also need to talk about. We'll talk about that one next, which is also not on my wish list. This is not a color story that I would choose to buy for my first shadows from a brand. I feel like they have a good variety of light to dark, one pop of shimmer in there. You've got your mattes. You could do an all matte look. You could do a lighter look. You could do a deeper look. You could do a smoky eye. So you could do a lot with that palette. It's just not my color story that I would reach for. So Melt Cosmetics has got their Rust eyeshadow palette out. Also not something I would reach for, but I feel like if I wanted a neutral palette, it would be something like this, where you've got a wide variety of neutral shades. Within that variety, you've got different colors. So you've got some light, warm neutrals, but you've got a yellow, a peach, and a cream. And then you've got some darker neutrals, but one has a red tone to it, one is a little more brown to it. So I feel like this gives a good selection of colors for that theme of a palette. It's just not a palette I would reach for, and their palettes are so expensive. They're $60. That's too expensive for me. This, I'm getting this. I'm just going to tell you this now. It's on the wish list and I'm going to buy it. So when is it coming to Ulta? It says it's available now at CVS and Amazon. So this is the new oil-absorbing volcanic stone roller from Revlon. If there's ever something gimmicky that I want to try out, it's this product right now. It eliminates excess oil for a clean complexion anytime. Unlike blotting papers that are single use, this oil-absorbing roller is reusable. Simply wash. So, I mean, that's the coolest thing I've seen in a long time, and I definitely need to own that. On the wish list, in the cart. So the last thing I want to talk about is this new Soul perfume. It is so expensive, but it says that it is the scent that we have loved in a perfume. So the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum Cream. I bought that expensive lotion because of the smell. So I figure I would never spend that much money again. And I got mine. So the big jar is like $45. I got it, I think, for $25 because I had some coupon at the Sol de Janeiro website. I would never spend $25 again on it because that's too expensive for the amount of lotion that you get. But the smell is so amazing. If I could get a perfume, I would only need a squirt of perfume to smell like that. And that would last me so much longer than the lotion. So it would probably be worth the $78 for 1.7 ounces, which is so expensive. Actually, maybe that's not that expensive for a perfume. I'm thinking I usually get like a 3.4 ounce for my husband and spend around $100. It's available now. It's available at Sephora. There's going to be a VIB sale coming up in April. Just saying. Don't make it sold out though, because I'm probably going to pick it up. I mean, you could even just stick with like a Jergens lotion and use that and not have to get a more expensive scented lotion that you like. So I'm just thinking here, maybe it's actually money saving to buy that perfume, right? That's on the wish list. And that is everything that I wanted to talk about today. So Safety Sun Kit, the Sun Safety Kit, the Soul perfume. Is there going to be only, am I not going to have any makeup in April that I buy? Is it just going to be perfume and sunscreen and an oil blotting volcanic stone? So that's on the wish list. Was there any palettes on the wish list? The Love Luxe Beauty ones, so beautiful, not picking them up. And I think that's all. I would love to know what products are on your wish list and if you have picked up anything recently. What a sad day when we have nothing ColourPop to talk about. I am sure they are itching to release something. A lot of you guys probably heard that they had to shut down their distribution center and fulfillment centers because California is where they are based. They have been hit very hard there. So we will be ready for you, ColourPop, when you can open your doors back up. I'm excited to see what things they have to release once they open back up, because I'm guessing that there is going to be a lot. We joke a lot about how many releases ColourPop comes out with, but when they have to shut down and they can't release anything, it really kind of hits home how much this is affecting us. So my prayers are with you all for this week. I hope you are staying healthy and safe. Please do subscribe before you leave. Put your notifications bell on, because there are some really fun things coming this week, including this eye look. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.